As you go down life's road, you're going to go down the road. You're going to meet all sorts of people. Enlightening people, wise people, experienced people, dumbasses, trust babies, mama's boys. You're going to meet all range from gangsters to priests. I mean, but what happens when you yourself are involved? You've met and made friends or tried to make friends with an asshole. There's got to be a limit to your contrition. And what I mean by that, you feel that you've offended him, so you apologize. You try to make some sort of an act of contrition to show that you're sorry. But when you do, you're spurned. You understand you can't make amends with this kind of a jackass. And when that becomes obvious, after how many weeks, months, or years of efforts you've made, it's time to move on. Now, the Lord Jesus Christ tells us to forgive. But forgiveness often needs to be a two-way street. You don't need him to forgive you as long as you've totally forgiven him. But even when you forgive him, as I've forgiven, let's just call this person Marky, okay? I've forgiven Marky for his transgressions against me. Obviously, he is incapable of forgiveness. I guess he has this outmoded, outdated Old Testament shit, this eye for an eye Jewish crap. Maybe, whatever. Well, when your best efforts fall on deaf ears, when they collide with hard hearts, it is time to move on. Isn't that right, Marky? You know who you are. There are so many like you. I won't use your full name because although you know whom you are, I don't want others to be able to say, oh, look at that jackass. That sure is him. Maybe they will, but I'm not going to use your full name anyway. You understand, Mark is a holier than thou type. Despite his own myriad and glaring faults, he feels himself to be spiritually, academically superior to pretty much everyone. I know, and God knows he's not. This guy lacks the experience, the kind of experience needed to turn boys into men. He is spiritually and emotionally, I guess you could say he's in early adolescence of spirituality and emotionally. He hasn't grown up. We know that only adversity, only challenge, hardship can make boys into men. We know that. Mark has been denied that, is still denied that, as his own family, through a trust, still feeds him, clothes him, houses him. The pride and joy of home ownership isn't there because he never had to pay for it. Okay? Just call him Marky, Mama's boy, whatever you wish. Long turning the other cheek. I've decided to let God deal with little Marky because I'm at my wit's end. I'm done trying. I'm done hurting. You can only go so far before you have to turn him over to the Lord, block him on your cell phone, and get on with your life. Praying for Mark, people like Mark, that's mandatory. You have to pray for him lest you fall to his level. You don't want to fall to his level. You don't want to do that. To be like him, my God, that's a walking curse. This is someone who lacks the spiritual, emotional growth that's needed for preparation for the afterlife. Before you make it to heaven or God's kingdom or wherever the hell you believe you're going, could be hell, you need to be prepared spiritually and emotionally. But this guy isn't because he's been sheltered. His family protects him because they know he'll never make it on his own. While they're helping him, they're hurting him, coddling him, allowances. I mean, everything is a trust. The house, the car, everything. God. Don't let this kind of a person poison you because I'm not going to let him poison me because his poison can murder the spirit. It is said, the tree that grows in the wind grows strongest. The winds of adversity, of course. And the tree that grows in the shelter grows weakest. Look at the people who have struggled to feed their children, to make house payments, to get through horrible disasters, be it cancer or getting shot at. These people grow wise quickly because adversity and challenge, either they make you or they break you. But the lack of these, automatically you're broken, you're done. This is a tree, Marky, that has grown in the shelter and is weakest. So what I'm saying is, you've got to pray for the mark in your life. When you've done your best and you have to walk away, don't walk away in anger. Walk away realizing that he is so lost, that he is so screwed up, that he is so spiritually bankrupt. You have to pray for him. You've divorced this spiritual juvenile. You've left him to the Lord. And if you trust the Lord, you know he will offer every opportunity, even more than you ever could, to bring this poor little Marky around. But remember, even God, even Jesus Christ, can do only so much. That's all.